everyone, welcome back again to another video. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie. You are welcome to Julie Harrison Reacts. Don't make your last by subscribing. So I come across this video on my FYP on TikTok and it has gotten a lot of reactions. I'm going to show you guys the reactions coming from people, and what they genuinely think about this particular video, because this video right now, it is blowing up. But before I proceed with the video, this content does not in any way promote conflict. It is truly for educational purposes and of course for me to create awareness on the trends happening on social media. The cloudburst that took place in India is currently getting a lot of people very terrified. We have so many Black Americans reacting on it. They felt like, what is really going on? Is this end time? What is really happening with the nature? Some of them went further to say that this is why Africa is blessed, that we don't experience such in Africa, and this is why Black communities will always remain the best. Let's watch these videos.
I just watched a video of a cloudburst in India that caused a flash flood. And originally when I read cloudburst, I literally thought that the cloud was kind of like a water balloon and it just popped from having too much rain in it, and then it burst and then it just poured all the rain at one time from the cloud. And that's actually not what a cloudburst is. It's basically just a metaphor for the extremely heavy downpour of rain in a short period of time. So I think it's like categorized by like 4 inches of rain in an hour. That's technically considered a cloudburst. But I've never heard of that before, and it was actually crazy to watch because the cloudburst happened and then the flash flood was immediately following. And it literally was washing away homes and hotels and other infrastructure and like cars. Like it just immediately pushed everything. It was actually crazy. And I've never heard of a cloudburst or seen a cloudburst to my knowledge, but that actually was crazy to see. And I don't know if it's because of climate change, like this is going to become more of a common thing. I don't know. All I'm saying is I've never seen a cloudburst. And when I read it, I was like, what do you mean the cloud popped like a balloon full of water and just poured all of that water down at 1 second? Just all in 1 second, all the water from that cloud just bursted and came down. But that's not what happened. But it's a metaphor for basically that. And that was just extreme to see. It very much was.
Y'all want to learn something new today like I did? See this? It's not a tornado. It's not a water spout or sprout, whatever they call that shit. This shit is called a cloudburst. That's right, motherfucker. I said a cloudburst. It's like a cloud busting a fucking nut. That's basically what this shit is. The cloud burst and millions of gallons of water just fall within a matter of minutes on wherever the fucking cloud is at. Can you imagine you just walking on a sunny day, you just see this big ass cloud and that bitch just drop just a million gallons of water on your ass in like fucking 3 fucking minutes. You out of here. You in the upper room. So a lot of y'all might be wondering, what causes a cloud to bust a nut? Well, when a strong upwind current of hot air prevents raindrops from falling to the ground, causing a sudden and heavy rainfall, basically. So basically, like the cloud had blue balls and just said fuck it and got tickled by that hot wind and just bust on everybody, basically. That's what a rain bust is. I mean a cloud bust. Now you know if you didn't know. Thank me later.
These guys are playing with death, so if you see this type of rain in the mountains, don't be like them. It might look harmless, but it's not a free shower. It's actually a cloudburst. When thousands of liters of water suddenly come crashing down, it'll send you back to the lobby. These storms can unleash thousands of liters of water all at once, powerful enough to destroy everything in their path. This demo shows just how dangerous it can be.
So if a cloudburst is what caused this disaster, then what is a cloudburst and how did it lead to what looks like at least portion of a mountain falling down and burying most of a village? Yep, it's a whiteboard video. So what is a cloudburst? Now to explain a cloudburst, we're going to use India because, well, it's the easiest one to explain, and if you couldn't tell from my fantastic drawing of India, this is India. Up here we have the Himalayan mountains that I have helpfully labeled mountains. Down here we have the Arabian Sea. So essentially what happens here is warm, moist air from the Arabian Sea rolls up this direction towards the Himalayan mountains. that way. As it moves northeastward towards the Himalayan mountains and eventually gets to the foothills and up into the mountains themselves, the air is forced upward because of the actual terrain. And when it does, it interacts with cold air that's sitting over the top of the mountains. And that forcibly cools down that warm, moist air and forces it to condensate rapidly. And what happens is, as this is forced up, it becomes incredibly cool, and the weight of the raindrops in the actual cloud itself becomes higher than the updraft pushing that rain and that moisture up in the air, and it all falls down rapidly. So here's what we've got. We have our ocean here, the Arabian Sea. We have our flat land. Then we have our mountain ranges, the Himalayan mountains. Warm, moist air comes up off of the ocean, like so, and begins to move this direction. It drifts over here, and then once it hits this mountain range, it's forced upward like that. Now, up here at the top of this mountain is a bunch of cold air, right? Because the tops of mountains are cold, it's really high in the atmosphere, all of that. This warm air is forced up so quickly that it goes into this and it rapidly cools, which causes it to quickly condensate around that cold air into giant raindrops, which then fall out of the sky as raindrops. Because what keeps rain in the air and what keeps it from dumping all at the same time is an updraft to prevent it to have more strength than the weight of the actual raindrops itself. But because it cools so rapidly in this cold air mass, it kind of conglomerates into giant raindrops. And it's basically like knocking a bucket over, and all of the rain dumps in a very, very short period of time in a very, very narrow area. It makes those really big, tall cumulonimbus clouds, not pyrocumulonimbus clouds, cumulonimbus clouds that go really high in the atmosphere that have a bunch of water droplets in them, and it just dumps all down the water at the same time, which then rapidly overwhelms the actual drainage portion of the mountain and can bring down portions of the mountain with it, like in the video of the
We have huge fires happening in Canada, which is blowing smoke down to the US. We've got an 8.8 earthquake that just happened like a week ago off of the coast of Russia, which caused a tsunami warning for the entire west coast of the US, Hawaii, Alaska, Russia, and Japan. That caused a volcano to go off, which hasn't erupted in 600 years. Now we have a cloudburst that caused a flash flood that took out an entire town in India, and record snowfall, which is hitting northern Australia, which haven't been seen in like 4 decades. Do you still think this is normal? Do you still think that maybe there's something wrong? Maybe we are in the end times as prophesied in the Bible? If you don't, wake up. This is coming in from India. This is a town in India right along like a river, which doesn't have a lot of water. And now look at this. All of this water and mud, this runoff coming down because of flash floods. And it just entirely like takes out this town here. Watch right over here. Look at those buildings right there. Just completely wiped out. Look at right there. Buildings just taken away, destroyed in seconds with the amount of water. There's like 50 missing. There's 4 that are already deceased. And then you've got this going on in Australia, northern Australia. We've got snow that have the likes that have not been seen since the 80s, like 4 decades of this snow covered this town. But despite all of it, you've got these guys like hanging around the one little patch of greenery they can find. It's your little kangaroos. They're all just kind of like huddled around this tree. Don't know really what else to do. Look, we've got insane weather happening all over the planet, and you can't deny this stuff is not normal. We also have the Bible, which talks about this. Luke 21:11 talks about earthquakes, in diverse places. Matthew 24 talks about earthquakes. Romans talks about the whole earth groaning. Creation groans, waiting to be redeemed. We are certainly seeing the earth groaning. We are certainly seeing humanity groaning in desperate need for the Messiah to return. And he is coming soon. He has to come soon because the earth won't make it otherwise. So keep looking up, keeping anticipating, waiting, praying, and excited that our time is coming near. The redemption draws nigh. If you haven't already, make sure you're following this channel for more prophetic updates.
This is New Orleans flooded, yeah? This is Mississippi. This is what we mean by Katrina touched down and tore Mississippi to smithereens, like wiped it out, and then flooded New Orleans. This is Mississippi. Complete bridge broken. Casinos moved. Another view of that highway. I've never seen no highway do nothing like that. Can you imagine? And this is not to compare the two. I think we just have to acknowledge that Mississippi was impacted greatly, if not just as much as New Orleans. The issue is that New Orleans, it left the people stranded and destitute, and they didn't get to them. Mississippi, they did get aid a little quicker, if it's my understanding, but they were still just as displaced, and they came back to nothing. I know it's hard to tell the difference, but if you look at this is the before, this is the after. If you see this casino right here, the casino used to be right here, and it moved completely across the highway. Also, if you see all of this right here, it's developed. All of this is just debris. This is actual physical houses. This is all debris. Like a tornado swept through that thing. It's unbelievable. It really is. One reporter said that this is almost the equivalent to how it looked when they dropped a bomb on Hiroshima. When they dropped the atomic bomb, she said that's the equivalent. That's crazy. This picture blew me away because there's no house, just steps, no house. The one guy that told his story, they went back to his grandpa's house, and his grandpa was able to like work on their house and rebuild their house. But some of these people in Mississippi, they don't have nothing, and wasn't no rebuilding either. They said Mississippi, neither one of them have been the same. Anyhow, sending lots of love to those who were impacted, regardless of where you lived. Yeah.
Hey, y'all seen this sky serpent rolling in, y'all? Are y'all seeing this? Oh my goodness. Y'all not going to tell me that is not a serpent, y'all. You guys are what? Cause what is that? Y'all gonna call it a cloud? Cause y'all look at the layers to it. Y'all not seeing the layers though. Oh my goodness. Y'all not. Now look at the street view of this thing, y'all. What am I looking at? Is that some type of eye in there? Y'all, is that some type of eye in there? I said this looks like a giant bean. This looks like the eye of something, bro. Is that like an eyebrow? Does that look like an eyebrow to y'all? I don't know, man. Look at this. Look at it. Look at that. Yo, I gotta laugh because this is just crazy, man. This is just crazy. I know y'all see all the colors that this thing is showing. I see like purple. Look at that. Like even this little the eyebrow looks purple. It's dark. It's shaded in, y'all. This is crazy. Now I know they call this thing a shelf cloud, but this thing looks like a portal. This don't even look like a cloud. I don't even know what they're talking about, y'all. I have never seen this in my whole life from being on Earth. So it just seems like people can just make up stories and just put it out there like it always exists, right? That's history, right? Because history always existed. That's why all the historians are leaving the country right now, right? Because they know everything they ever told us was a lie. But y'all, this is crazy, man. That's an eye. Bro, that is an eye. I told y'all, these things are beings. These are entities, y'all. Living beings. But what do y'all see here, man? This is crazy. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it.
This actually looks very terrifying. Like, I went through the Google and I was able to make some researches on this cloudburst. Ideally, it doesn't happen all the time. It rarely happens, right? But hearing all these, recent disastrous things happening, and we just keep asking what is really going on. Is this biblical, or do you think it is nature just reoccurring? Why is it like it's been happening? Like unimaginable things are currently happening, and it's got a lot of people reacting. They felt like, why is it becoming a norm? Some people kept tagging it to end time. That is the end time, is the end near, and all that. The other day we heard the aliens are coming in November. A lot of people are already welcoming these aliens. Some of them even went further to say that they have the attributes of the black people. They have the characteristics of the black people. Some even went further to say that you are still waiting for aliens in November, whereas the aliens are already amongst us, right? I'm still trying to wrap my hands around it. Should we talk about the flood that just took place, that took a lot, lives of people, So when certain things start happening, it keeps us wondering what is happening, because it is in the Bible. People tagging it biblical, I don't really blame them, because they told us that during end times, a lot of unimaginable things will start happening. I don't know if you guys saw the video where some children were still playing outside, and the narrator went further to say that these things are very, very dangerous, right? They are very, very dangerous. Like, looking at it, and the way it is busting off, like cloud is busting, it doesn't look like it's safe at all. And the comment, if you try to Google about cloudburst, you also be enlightened that there's nothing safe about it. And the fact that it happens once in a while, like it is not on daily basis. So, but it's more like it's been happening of recent now, and it is becoming very, very terrifying. A lot of people, mostly Black Americans, were saying that it is what they deserve. That, when you've been putting your hands or been committing a lot of atrocities in the land, that nature will start working against you. So, do you think this is nature working against them, or do you think it's still normal weather, climatic change, like the normal occurrence that probably ought to happen? I came across all these videos, and the videos are blowing up. The comment sections, people had so many different things to say. Some people have said that they are scared of the nature, working against them. They don't really know what is going on. Should they go back to Africa? People have so many things to say, and I would like you to tell me what you genuinely think about this cloudburst. Have you experienced such before? What do you think is biblical? Do you think the end is near? What do you genuinely think about this? I'll be reading your comments. If this is your first time here, please don't make your last by subscribing. I would like to have you here, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I will see you guys shortly. Bye.